Rochelle White, as usual. Unfailing. Patrick Christian. Patty Pat, good evening. Yetunde, evening. Olaniyi. Welcome, welcome everyone. Favor, Umana, Ufoma, Abimbola, Adetola, Princess Adetola, Durosime, Adeola Disu, Justin Mayo, Alice Obaze, Priska Gold, Pastor Natalia, good evening. That is Natalia Kalida, Shinwe, Mesonge, Doris. Good evening and welcome everyone. This week I've been treating a rather serious topic, and the topic is the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? So, yesterday we spoke about in the aspect of what is the truth, we have looked into why truth is important and why truth matters. Today we are going to talk about another topic, which is what truth is not. What truth is not. By the way, I want to do an experiment before as I start, and I would like you all to go ahead and share this message. Go and look for your share button, and let's go and share it and let the word get around. So let's share the message and spread the word among our friends. So, but before I start, my question is, what truth is not? What is it that truth is not? What is not true? What is true and what is not true? But we are going to look at what is truth later. What is truth a bit later. But right now, can I ask you this question? What is it that is not the truth? What is it truth is not? Can you people tell me? Can you people, does anybody have an idea what the truth is not? What is not truth? I would like you people to write. Go ahead and write in the comments what you think about that. What do you think? If I call this message, what truth is not, how do you know? Okay, now, the way you people are answering the question is very interesting. I like that. Because the way you are answering the question is like primary school kids. When you ask them, what is not white? What is it? Then the primary school say it's black. Because they are looking, you are just giving you the antonym or the opposite of whatever you mentioned. But I didn't say when something is not true, what is it? That's not what I said. If I had said if something is not true, what is the opposite of truth? Then you say it's a lie. But when I say what truth is not, it means truth as an entity itself. How do I know that, anything people say is not it? I'm not asking you for the opposite of truth. So when you say what is truth, you cannot say, okay, truth is something that is true. or then what is not the truth, or what is not truth. You cannot say a lie is not true. Of course, if it's a lie, we know it's a lie. But I'm saying, what is it that truth is not? Or maybe it's too difficult maybe my language is too difficult for you, or I'm too philosophical right now. I'm becoming too philosophical for you guys. These Christians have different kind of approach to understanding. Somebody here is telling me truth is not pure. It's just like somebody saying truth is not 100%. Truth is not real. That's what another person said. Beautiful, beautiful. You are trying. At least you try. The plague of silence didn't make you to keep quiet. So your own is better. There are some people who are still under the plague of silence. They cannot even say anything. Okay, Chinwe is already Chinwe is already closer, a little bit more intellectual answer. Chinwe is giving a bit more intellectual answer. She said, inability to establish a fact. Oh, that is not bad. That is not bad. That is already sounding okay. Mofelola also that the truth is anything. What is not true is anything that lacks evidence. Okay, that's very close too. Okay, Rochelle White says when it doesn't align with the word of God, no, that's the religious. That's what most people say. Okay, for example, the word of God. Where did you see the word of God? In the word of God, oxygen, for example. So if you want to say oxygen doesn't, because oxygen is not in the word of God, it doesn't align with the word of God. So oxygen is not true. Princess says anything that puts you in bondage. Well, not bad. So the question I'm asking all of you guys is this. When I ask, the topic of today is what truth is not. So when I say what truth is not, what do I mean? What is it that is not the truth? It's not truth. Now people jump the fence and they started describing truth itself. Truth is a treasure. Truth is anything that has base or no base. Truth is the foundation. I'm not asking for the truth. Or you jump to decide that you prefer, that is easier for you, right? But even then, those answers are still not true. Okay, I'll help you people out. But I'm going to help you pull out. But your answers. Oh, Pastor Natasha, not a bad idea here. Pastor Natasha said, truth is not opinion, it's not fact. But it's a bit confusing, but you are close. Emmanuel Uzo said, there is nothing to say about the truth. Oh, that is interesting. He said there is nothing to say. Okay, somebody here is saying, shouts Adeyemi, truth is Jesus, his character and principles as exposed by his word, Shekinah. That is so down deep religion that I'm not saying what is the truth. That might be right, but I'm saying truth. So if you say it's Jesus, so if you go to the restroom, I'm sorry now, and came out, and I said, did you go to the restroom? What did you do? Is it true that you went to the restroom? You say, yes, that is Jesus. That we are talking about real life situation right now. Not the religious, not the religious one now. But it's also from the Word of God. I'm going to be explaining to you. So what do people think? Are you people ready for the answer? Or you have an honest opinion? You have an honest opinion? Okay, come. What truth is not?
I think it's something that you cannot verify. It's not verifiable.
That's not bad. That's not bad, but it's not the answer. But it's okay, not bad. At least you tried. So what do you expect from me from this answer that I'm going to say?
Well, from what you've said so far and the answers that others have given and you've laughed over, I think that is something really deep that it's more descriptive of exactly what is not theory. So I'm expecting a specific, descriptive, and precise.
You want to come and help your sister? No? Okay. Well, you know why I think your answers. You know what it's showing me? It's showing me the state of Christianity and the church today. It means that these things are not being taught in the church.
No.
And it means that most Christians don't even have an idea. We believe, we just quote two scriptures. You shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. And, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah? And most people don't know anything more than that. So, but, I've been talking for 2 weeks now about truth. And I'm still on my way to getting to describe what is truth. But before I describe what is truth, I think it is important, of course, to tell people what truth is not. What truth is not. And what are you expecting? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm expecting to have clarity on what truth is not, because clearly I don't know. And many other people that I may be thinking that they might have answers don't know. So it means that there's quite a lot of us out there that we don't know what truth is not. I think we probably know what we think is truth, but we don't know what it is not, which is not something that we usually ask or anyone asks us. It's not something that we even think about. We look for truth. We say we want to know the truth. Tell me the truth. But we've never said, tell me what is not truth. So we don't really know.
How do I know what is not truth?
Yes, we don't have any identity. Something
what
that is faceless. It has no identity. So maybe everything else in our life, by the time we finish, maybe everything else in my life, I probably think is
going to be queried.
Yes, it probably needs to be redefined. So I'm really looking forward to that descriptive clarity of what truth is not. It was even difficult for me to say it out loud, because it's not a word or a mixture of words that I will put together. So to say what truth is not, I almost have a slip of tongue saying it, because I don't use the word what truth is not. I use the word what is truth. Tell me the truth. How would I know the truth? But I don't often, if not ever, use the word together. Tell me what truth is not. It's almost poetic.
Oh, look, Pastor Natasha Kalida is saying truth is not people's innovation or people's opinion. That is close. That is very close right there. Okay. But I'm going to give you an elaborate answer. I'm going to make it elaborate that maybe even this 1 hour might not be enough for you to get the answer that I'm after. What truth is not. And a lot of people mistake some of these things to be the truth. And I'm going to, just let people put clarity and bring simplicity and clarity for people to know some of the things that we have been mistaken as the truth sometimes, they might not be the truth. They might not be the truth. They might not be true. Emmanuel Uzo decided to come and say, Pastor, I don't know, sir. Please. He said, I don't know. So, just tell us.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay. Thank you. First of all, I would like to quote Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright says, "The truth is more important than the facts." That is serious. Especially if you know that you cannot establish truth without facts. But facts is an element of the truth. But fact is not always the total truth or the whole truth. So, Mr. Frank Lloyd Wright here is not bad. He's doing well. I mean, he's very close. He himself is very close. He's very close, and his thought is deep. It means he's a thinker. Anyway, so number one, I'm going to give you like 5 or more things what truth is not. Galia, you want to try? Okay. We have Galia here too. What do you say, Galia?
What truth is not?
Yes.
What truth is not? I think the truth is not something that can be changed.
Oh, Galia. It's clear that Galia has been working with me. Oh. Okay, truth is not something that can be changed.
Yes. I think is the most close attribute to the truth. Truth can be changed.
Sorry?
Truth can be changed. Truth is something that stands every time.
Cannot be changed, you mean? Can't be changed. Can't be changed.
Can be changed.
Okay, truth
It's
can't.
every time always the same.
Absolute. Okay.
Yes, absolute.
Okay.
Like eternal.
Yes, yes,
It's not be changed, but
yes.
in
Cannot
time
be
that's
changed.
something.
It's a pity that Carol Weiss is not here today. Maybe she could have had some ideas for us. Okay, thank you, my Galina. That's close. That's very close. So, what truth is not? What truth is not? Number one. What truth is not? Truth is not whatever works. I don't know if you can think around this. You don't get it?
It's not an option.
No, you don't. You see, hear me. I think I might need you, 2 of you, to come. You want to come? Because I'm going to make you people think, and I know that you are capable. 2 of you are capable. Okay, this is Sir Veto, they call him. Sir Victor, the future president of Nigeria. This is Victor Bamishaye, and of course, Queen Verity. Mayowa. You all know Mayowa. So, number one is that truth, so you think about it. I want you to think about this. So what truth is not? The first thing that truth is not is that, if you remember this, remember this, the first thing that truth is not anything that works. Because let me try to help you out. Most of the time, when something works out, when we get results from something, we always say, oh, that's the proof. Since there's a result, since it's producing some result, it's working. It works. So most times people believe that since it works, definitely it means it's in alliance with the truth, that it is the truth. But you know, that is very close to the truth, very similar to the truth, but it's still not the truth. Even though it works. For example, I will give more examples, but let me first of all give you scientific definition of what that is. When something works, or when something works out, or is working. That is when something gives result. That is called pragmatism. Have you ever heard people say they are pragmatics? What that means is that they believe in things that bring result. I'm very pragmatic too. But pragmatism is a little bit different from truth. Even though truth itself brings result. You know, I like the way somebody said it. It's called Geisler. He says, an idea is not true because it works. So because it's working doesn't prove that it's true. You understand that? But it will always work when it is true. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you people to explain to me individually how you understand that particular phrase. Can I repeat it again?
Yes.
An idea is not true because it works. It's working. But if it is the truth, it's going to work. It works because it is truth. So an idea is not true because it works, but it works because it is true. I don't know if you follow that.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to start?
Okay,
Yes, just louder.
thank you. An idea is not true because it works, but it works because it's the truth.
Yes.
This is talking more like truth becomes a system that always produces result every time it is tested.
Okay.
It's not just an accident, it's not an event. It's always a process that keeps producing. It's like a theory that has been tested and proven, not just because it works in a particular situation in which it may not work in the next scenario or situation. So the truth is not just something that works. And anything, you can do anything and it will work at any point in time and not work the next time. But if it's the truth, wherever it is tested, it will work.
I'm sure it is an absolute opposite approach you took from what Bayowa is going to
Yes.
take.
Yes, I actually think it's the opposite. The truth, what it says is that the truth would.
I don't say what he says.
Okay.
Let me just repeat it something again. An idea is not true because it works.
Mm-hmm.
It works because it is true.
Yes.
Okay.
So an idea is not true because it works. It works because it's true.
Yes.
So the truth is that the truth is absolute. Whatever you do, it would end at what it's supposed to be. Whereas an idea would only, it could work, it could happen, the idea could happen, but it doesn't mean that it's true. So it's just like, I think that's exactly how life is really. The life that we live is that we do all sorts of things. It happens. We end up having, okay, maybe let's talk about marriage, for example. You get married, you know, you call it marriage, but it doesn't make it a true marriage if it doesn't have the ingredients of the marriage. Whereas if you get married and it has the ingredients of the marriage, the evidence is there. It would always work well. So everybody gets married, but not everybody are in true marriage, if I can use that as an example. So the destination for truth is always going to work. And the destination for idea is that it would happen, but it's not working. So if I can, you know.
But why did you conflict what he said though? Why did you annul what he said? Because what he said too is right in his own, from his own perspective.
But it's not true. It's an idea what he said.
Okay,
whereas,
prove that to us.
Yeah, it's an idea. What he said is that what you do, whatever you do, what you do, if it works, it doesn't mean that it is true.
Yes.
So he's saying that if it works, it doesn't mean that it's true.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, you know,
okay.
The actual working is not even true. It's just an idea. It's just something that happened. It's not necessarily truth at all.
But I want to tell you that he is right also from his own perspective. Okay. Let him talk first for himself. He has mouth for himself.
No, not much to say from that. I think
compared to what she said.
I won't be doing that in comparison because I do not live in a truth, and especially from the I do not.
No, she said that you are not right. That what you describe is just for idea.
Well, the fact that as our opinion does not mean I have an opinion to that. So I think she would be the one to justify why she thinks so. But in my own opinion, I think from this statement, one can put 2 and 2 together and it works now.
Yes.
Does not mean in the next scenario, even the same equation would work. Okay. For example, it's a truth that if you throw something up, it will come down. And I said, sorry, it's an idea that when you throw something up, you expect it to come down. But the truth is that it depends on the height which that thing reaches. If it gets to another level, it stops obeying gravity. It starts obeying aerodynamics. Mm-hmm. But that is the truth, that it gets to a level where gravity does not work again. Aerodynamics starts working. That stuff will float and will not come down. So that is the truth.
Or
but
it will disappear.
Yes, but the idea is that I can throw it up now and it comes down. The idea is also that I can throw something up to a level and it doesn't come down, and I expect that the next time I will throw it up and it will and expect that it won't come down, and it will come down. So the fact that even we get calculations right at some instances, the next place may be at a different frequency where things will be vibrating at a different frequency, and you need to get all the parameters right, not just the calculations that work in that field.
You are making it more theory now. You are making it philosophical. But let me make it live.
Okay.
Pragmatism says that an idea is true if it works. It's working now, so why are you challenging it? Let me bring it to life now. Why that cannot be always true, and why that is not even the truth. For example, I wrote an article recently about the situation with MMM. I'm sure some of you heard about MMM.
Yeah.
Okay. MMM is a system whereby a Russian guy created a structure that takes money from people. He will say, you go and take money from her. You take money from her and promise her 30% a month, which is like 180% or 100 and something percent, or maybe actually 300 and something percent. That's like 360% in a year. So 360% in a year, and what he said is that because everybody is greedy, they would like to go for it because only very few people can resist greed. That's his theory. So even though you are deceiving him or you are deceiving her, and because you could give her for some months, but you cannot perpetually sustain that because 100% is already is exceeded. You know, the money that you are going to be paying out is already more than 100%. It's already more than the optimum. You know, so it's not going to be sustainable for a long time. But you know what people tell me? Even pastors were telling me this in Nigeria. Pastor, they were telling me, Pastor Sunday, why are you so fanatical? I said, why? They said, because, you know, people want to increase money now. Economy is bad. Economy is bad, and these people don't want to steal. They don't want to steal because they don't want to steal, and they don't want to, they don't want to deceive people. They don't want to steal. They don't want to rob. So they are doing business that works. At least as of today, well, you know what I say? As of today, I know 10 people that have put money in MMM. That is what they were telling me then. They have put money in MMM and they are receiving their percentage. Exactly what they promised. They are doing it every month. 30% returns every month. They are giving it. So it's working. So what are you complaining about? It's working. What are you complaining about? Every month, everybody gets their money back. But they get their money back because they, take 100% from you. And then next month, when you are supposed to be paid, they take from another person. And what they take from the next person that comes after you is the one they use to pay you. For example, he brings you, and they give him from your money, 30% of your money, and they keep 60% and give him 60% something. So for you to get your own now, they say you must bring another person. So when you bring another person, you get it from the person's money. But that will crash one day or the other. That's why it's a pyramid. So, but the people in my country, they are not using critical thinking. They are not thinking deeply enough. That will work, yes, but it will work only for some time, which makes the theory of Victor that he said earlier right. That some things could work if for some time, but that doesn't make it the truth. If it is the truth, it's going to be sustainable. It's going to work all the time. And that's why I said what he said is not necessarily wrong. And which is what you said too. What you said too from another way is also right. But both of you are right. Because, so in the case of MMM, let me even tell you another situation. I have a sister, maybe she's right now on the platform, or she will come and join us. So I was trying to, because she's on my DSA family, I thought she was, her mind is developed enough for this kind of talk. So I was telling her that, sister, this. Do you know that somebody told me this? These are what my people, and even when I wrote the articles, my people will be saying, what's your problem? I'm receiving, I know people who have received, and I've received self, and people have received, so what's your problem? I mean, people, they are paying us, we are receiving money, so what's the problem? We didn't steal, we don't want to steal. Can you know, what are you people saying? Do you know how many people are unemployed in the country? Do you know how many people are unemployed? So I now raise the topic with this guy, with this lady who is based in England, who is a DSA family person. And I say, no, sister, this, and this. Do you know how crazy Nigeria has become? How horrible things have become in my country? In fact, if I mention the name of a pastor, I don't want to mention any name. Because if I mention the name of a leading pastor, in fact, people say is very progressive in Nigeria now, who said the reason for MMM and all those kind of things going on, 419, MMM, is because of poverty. So they are telling me that poverty is, because there is poverty, they must do something. So whatever they are doing is justifiable because they have an excuse. So I was so concerned about the church in Nigeria and about the state of the church, that if leaders of my country are thinking like this, that, that the schemes, the forensic scheme, or they make Ponzi schemes, that these Ponzi schemes are allowed and they are permissible because of the situation of the things in the country. At least they are not carrying guns. At least they are not armed robbers. We should rather praise them. We should rather pat them in the back that at least they are using their mind, they are thinking. But I said this is even worse than carrying drugs. That's what I said. I said this is worse than carrying gun. They said, Pastor, what do you mean? They are helping other people. I know hospitals that they have given money to. They say MMM has helped hospitals. MMM has constructed roads. So I know people they have helped. So why should it be bad? How could it be bad if they are using some of the money to help people? It's working. That is the argument. This thing is working. You see now? So that now my country has come to believe in pragmatism rather than in the truth. So it became an alarm to me. So I was talking to my sister, who is one of the active members of my DSA family on this platform. You know what the pastor said? I mean, what the sister told me. She said, Pastor, it's because you have not been in Nigeria for a long time. Oh. You dey laugh. I understand you. He said, Pastor, it's because you have never been to Nigeria for a long time. Pastor, Shebari, I want poverty to run there. That means, Pastor, as if you had seen the poverty that is on ground now in Nigeria. Pastor, you cannot blame them. Pastor, I was recently there and my friends were there. Pastor, you cannot blame them. At least thank God that they are at least doing something. they are able to resolve their issue, their problems. And now, by the way, I want to challenge you. What is the difference between that kind of mindset? Because that kind of mindset is not based on the truth. It means that truth is not supreme to us. So you tell me now, if MMM is working, because they actually duping, but they don't use the word dupe. They dupe their friends, the closest people to them, their relatives, their family members, and when the thing collapses, they just, well, you know, it just happened. So, Mayowa, I want to hear your wisdom, because you are one of the persons I spoke to around that time, and you understood this. But people in Nigeria don't. You help us.
Well, for me, I think...
Because it's working.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's not working.
There was no product with MMM. And also for me, a murder or killing is not just by gun or knife or when blood is shed. I personally think that killing is much more deeper than that. You could kill somebody with your words. You could kill somebody with your actions. So for me, MMM, the fact that there was no product, it didn't work. You know, so I think the word that you use in terms of pragmatism is being mistaken for truth.
Yes.
And I think that's how everyone operates in Nigeria. To the extent that even if you're rich, you're a good person, God is favoring you. Whereas even if you're rich through something negative, God is favoring you. Even mothers, parents in Africa.
Murderers?
Yes. Even parents, mothers and fathers. If their children do not go to school, they didn't achieve anything, but they're sending money. They don't even ask questions.
Building
it's just that
houses.
it's just that God has blessed you. So that's pragmatism. This is the idea here, but it's not the truth. So your child could be a murderer somewhere, it could be doing somewhere something. As long as that money is coming, it's from God and God is blessing you. So
but why are you talking about mothers? Why are you not talking about pastors who are taking tithes and offering from these people? Or who are even making them to sit in the front rows of the churches, and who are giving them titles, and who are making them even pastors and leaders in the churches or deacons, because it's working. Yes. Whatever they are doing is working.
Yes, I think to talk about pastors almost an understatement here now. Pastors, it comes from the home. So I'm just going to start from the home, where whatever you believe in your home and what you practice within your home is what you're going to take to the pulpit to preach. So the pastors do it. It's just that to the masses. And at least in your home, you just have your family where you're affecting. But as a pastor, you're affecting many more people. And, you know, in Nigeria, I don't think they know the difference, actually, between the truth.
Okay, and pragmatism.
Yeah, and pragmatism. There's no difference. And also, they don't know, you know, if God
so
is
the parameter is that it is working.
Yeah, it is working. Okay. That's for them. If it's working, then that's truth and that's God. You know, and
God is blessing.
Yes.
Okay, I've had that many times, that God is blessing you if it's working.
Yes.
As long as you are making it, and the thing is coming, money is coming, and status, you are going, it means God is. So people actually, in fact, some Christians, even not just in Africa, in a lot of charismatic circles, believe that as soon as God is blessing it, it means that it must be correct. Yes. I think that's what you are trying to say.
It is what I'm trying to say. If it's good in their eyes, in the sight of the world.
If it's increasing, growing.
It's God. If it's bad, it's the evil.
If it's not growing, if it's painful.
It's evil. Even if it's truth that it's not growing for a reason, that is evil. To the extent where you're not studying, you're not reading. This is just a small example. You're not studying for your exams and you're not passing your exam. That is evil that is doing that. Whereas if you're passing your exam...
So it's not because you are not studying.
Yes, it's not because you're not studying. It's because the evil or somebody in your family is doing something to you.
That's why you're
failing, not because you didn't apply yourself. So application of truth is not important.
Oh, look at what Success is writing. That people in Nigeria have a slang or a saying that says, if it is good, it is God.
Yes.
So that is exactly what I'm addressing right now. That if it is good or if it's working, it is God. So that is pragmatism. So our church has embraced pragmatism instead of the truth. Yeah. And maybe we should even write I'm afraid we should write a whole book about just this topic. Are we preaching the truth in Nigerian churches, or we are preaching? No, we could even call it what success says. If it is good, it is God. Then question mark.
Yeah.
Is that true? That if it is good, it is God? Is that true?
Yeah.
And that is not true, because that is pragmatism. That's not truth.
Yes. And you know, people would even excuse you for any sin that you do if it is good. That's why rich people will get away
If
with
it is
something.
good?
You know, if it is results.
Okay, if it gives results.
If
Okay.
it gives results, they will commend you, even if that is coming from a very bad place, a wicked place, but it's giving the results, and they okay. The result is what speaks rather than the truth. The truth doesn't speak anymore. It's result of what is good.
Alafia Oni says it is working. If it is working, it must be God's blessing.
Yeah.
That is what people believe in Nigeria.
Yes. And it's not just in Nigeria. I think even in England, even if you're ill, it's like, oh, this is not God. But you might be ill because you're not eating well, you don't do any exercise. So
if you are ill, they will say it's Satan.
It's Satan immediately. There's an attack on you. You know, it's immediately an attack. It's not from God. You're possessed. Your family is possessed. Something is wrong with you. Whereas they don't look at the application of the truth, that it would always be true. Just this statement that the truth is absolute. You know, they don't think about that. It's just, it has to be pragmatic. So if somebody is doing well, even if they were murderers or they're kidnapping people to get money,
Or drug addicts.
or drug addict, is fine.
No, not drug addicts. What do you call them? Drug pushers.
Yeah, pushers. Yes, it's okay because it's working. It's God that is allowing it to work. So that means it's all right to do it.
And, you know, I like Pastor Nkiru, he says, because this is, you know, this particular concept, it has become the whole Nigerian thing, but I don't know why, but for some reasons, it was more prominent among the Igbo traders, first of all, the Igbos. And they said they have a word for it in Igbo, but I don't know if they have a word for it in Yoruba as well. In Igbo is Ifeoma Sinashi. Ifeoma, huh? Yeah. Ifeoma Sinashi. Okay, Ifeoma Sinashi. Okay, what will you say about that concept? Do you think it is existing in Nigeria, that people really believe that if it's working, if it's bringing result, that should be God's blessing?
I think you have addressed something like this before when you were talking then about the concept of spraying money. You went deep into the etiology.
Remind people, because most people didn't see that.
Yeah, Pastor Sunday, I think about that was last year or 2 years ago, was talking about the concept of spraying money and the psychological effect it has on a nation, where we now go for the evidence of people make money and we want to make money, and not the truth of the principle of dignity of labor, where we get to work and go through the process of converting our innate wealth into money and other products that wealth could be converted into. Respect is one of those. So we go now to just get the result, which is an event. So that's why that mindset is what has brought forward the Yahoo and not necessarily the poverty that is on ground. Because
beautiful. So it's not the poverty that has brought about the Yahoo 419, you know, MMM. It is actually the philosophy, the mindset, the worldview of the country that has been corrupt. Our worldview has been corrupt in that sense. Yes, please.
Yes, because even we deep down somehow within us, people we call inspirational people, and we see their story and we see how they've gone from rag to riches, and we can really trace their wealth and how they ascended from poverty to wealth. We see what they've done, we know what they've done. How come poverty did not push them into that same
very good.
And this thing? So it means poverty in itself is just something that pushes you. You know, there's something that said, he who is down fears no fall.
Yeah, it's supposed to be your springboard.
Yeah, he who is down fears no fall. So once you are poor, you know you can't go beyond this. The maximum is to come up. So what is the truth that can make me come up? Or am I just chasing after after a result? And if the result is what I am fixated upon, I do not care about the truth of process. I do not care about the truth of becoming. I only care about I do not care about the truth of doing. I only care about the idea and pragmatism of becoming in a quick way. So let me get this 50 million naira straight away now, without necessarily asking, how can I get it? Is the way, am I going about it in the true way? Am I going about it in the right way? Do I care about the people who it will affect? For example, someone goes to rob and gets 50 million. He gets the money, but someone is losing it. So how does that contribute to the society? It depletes. Now, he comes to church, he gives an offering of God knows how much, and all we are happy about is someone gave an offering of 5 million naira, and we are all shouting, not necessarily finding out what is it doing to get this. And I mean, this is the bane of the society and even the church in Nigeria, that we necessarily cannot speak about things again because we do not know. I mean, there's no integrity for the church and also those, and especially those who are financing the church. So I think we need to get back to the root of discovering the truth and not just the pragmatism of the result that is produced that is untraceable. One of those, again, if I'm permitted, I would like to share from medicine is, some weeks ago I was sneezing and I had a lot of
cold.
Yeah, that looked like allergy. And
Symptoms.
I had sinusitis and sinusitis and catarrh. Yeah, and the truth was, if I had treated the symptom, which I tried to do, I went to take antihistamine and it stopped mast cells from bursting and me sneezing, but it did not treat the real thing. The real thing was I was not eating well, and I had started suffering from hypovitaminosis. I was so deficient in vitamin D, deficient in vitamin C. I was so deficient that was why all of these things were happening. So they look like allergic rhinitis, and in fact, hypovitaminosis has been seen as one of the things, risk factors for asthma and all these allergic things. Now, the quick fix is to treat the symptom, but the truth is that there's something causing it, which is an hypovitaminosis. Now, to go for the truth is to look for the etiology, but to go for the result is to do something that will stop the symptom in the meantime, and it will work, because I will not be sneezing and everybody say, oh, it's working. But really, I am actually dying inside because the hypovitaminosis has not stopped.
How do you relate that to the society now, or to the church in real life?
In real life, we treat issues that don't really matter.
Because we are talking about truth
prosperity,
and pragmatism.
yes,
Okay.
talking about prosperity, but not really the principles that sustains a man. That's why topics like even this truth will never be preached in church, but we'll keep talking about the
prosperity,
the peripherality of prosperity.
Give and it shall be given.
Yes, but we will never talk about the dignity of labor and how every man who, for example, like this thing you gave while you were talking about truth. They were working in NASA and he was a cleaner, and the president asked him, what are you doing here? He said, I'm helping put a man in space. That is a truth, because he values even the work he is doing. He sees the bigger picture. So he does it, I'm sure, because he sees it that way. He does it so happily, and it doesn't matter.
He's focused on the truth.
Yes, on the truth. That this is what I am doing. So he's not seeing himself as less than anyone who is probably in the engineering room. So the church is not preaching this. The church is only fixated on peripheral things. And I think even if we read our Bible enough, we'll find out that this was the same thing Paul was addressing in Hebrews chapter 6, that we should leave the childish things, the beginning, the peripheral things of faith and repentance and all of this. He said, because this time that you are meant to be taught deep things, you still need to be taught, these childish things over and over. And
milk.
Milk. And I think this is the state where the church is in Nigeria. And like you said, when a nation does not have a truth, the concept of truth, it is relegated. And I also believe that truth is the heartbeat and it's the heartbeat of God. It is how God vibrates. And until we are there, nations cannot be subdued to the church. And until nations are subdued to the church, we will never get the ideal picture of what God wants. So as it is now, through the concept of chasing results and not truth, the church is failing God and man.
So when we just go to church and tell people that God will heal you. You can be healed. And we build a people, a society that only have their faith on the fact that they will go to church and God heals. They will go to church and be healed. And men of God will pray for them that they will be healed. So that way we are actually destroying our country and the health of the value of our country, because we are supposed to be teaching them on how to eat well. We are supposed to be teaching them on hygiene. We are supposed to be teaching them about viruses, bacteria, diseases. We are supposed to be opening their eyes into healthy lifestyle, to do sports, to eat healthy. But our people keep on eating carbohydrate. They keep on eating gari, all week long. Or, they keep on eating, all kind of carbohydrate, cassava, all things like that all the time, which is not, it's okay, but we are not teaching them that, we are telling them that they should come for healing. They should come for deliverance. Whereas we are supposed to be telling them how to feed, how to eat, so that to make themselves avoid some of these diseases. I kind of relate that to what you are saying. Yes, and the same thing with prosperity. So our doctrines must change in the pulpit. We must, stop. We must underemphasize all the just miracle things that people can get for nothing. For free, getting something for nothing, and begin to tell people the laws of nature that God has already put in place to make them well, and to make them prosper. And we should begin to tell the people that really prosperity comes only through hard work, and prosperity comes by diligence, and that there must be the production of goods and there must be the production of services. And we should begin to, and it is when we produce goods and services that the economy grows, and that we build a wealthy country. And when the economy grows, prosperity comes automatically, not just to you who are just members of that church or who was prayed for, but to the nation at large. But instead of saying that, we are actually telling people that you come to church, come to me, we'll pray for you, it will work. And people now even choose churches in my country by if it works or not. Yeah. And if it's a quick fix, which church gives you quick answer, quickest answer and quickest solutions. So people will be leaving churches where they teach them principles because it's too long, where they teach them the truth because, it could take some time. And they want to quickly go to churches where they perform, where, the man of God, quick, sharp answers. So that kind of thing, it is actually, spoiling and destroying the mind of the people, because we are building their faith not on God, because God is the truth. We are no more preaching God, even though we are using the name of God to give those quick solutions, but that is no more God. We are now preaching to people not faith in God, not faith in the truth, but faith in pragmatism, in quick fix. So people are now being driven by greed for results, rather than faith in God. So greed for result has replaced real faith in God, and greed for result as well has also replaced real faith in truth and the dignity of the truth. The integrity of the truth has been compromised, because we now say that the truth always takes a longer period. The truth takes sweating. The truth takes labor. The truth takes process. The truth takes perseverance. The truth takes persistence. The truth takes stamina. So because the truth takes all these demands, all these things, we now say, no, you can come here and just bypass all those things. So we are now telling people, forget about the truth. We are killing the truth by our messages that tell people that, no, come to my church, come to this place. Here, the truth, you don't need, no need for truth, no need to persevere, no need to endure, no need to have stamina, no need to produce, no need to have goods, no need to have products, no need to be diligent, no need to work hard. In fact, they now invented theories like hard work, like they even laugh at hard work, and they say one day of favor. So so when those kind of messages like one day of favor is compromising the truth, is killing the truth, and telling people that truth doesn't matter. What matters is quick fix. As long as you have result, that's what matters. That is the kind of churches That is what the church in my country has become now. Even the good church, so-called good churches, even the big men of God, the fathers. I'm sorry, we'll let one of you speak.
Yes, I think on the other angle as well, where not even about wealth or attaining success, even in prayers, when you pray with enemies, what makes the person that's praying, or even the pastors that are praying with that long and saying that your enemy will do this, what did you do to the enemy? They're not even trying to see what you've done to warrant what is happening to you. The important thing is that it shouldn't happen to you because
the truth is that you didn't eat well, not your enemy. Yes. That is the truth.
Yes.
And they need to correct you about your lifestyle. Yes. That is the truth. The truth is that you didn't work hard. That is the truth. Because you didn't work hard, that's why you are not making it. That's why you are not being successful. That is the truth, not the enemy that is there. And when we say it is enemies, it is witch and wizard, we are propagating the same pragmatism as a doctrine instead of Christianity. So that's why when I say we don't have Christianity, we don't have church in my country again, this is what I'm talking about. This is no more Christianity. The truth has been uprooted, and Christianity has been backseated. You have been backslided, backwritten, and it is now pragmatism that we are calling Christianity. And we are not telling people about their own responsibility to live for the truth, to imbibe the truth, and to that the truth is what the principles of truth that is making them to have what they are having, either good or bad. We are now saying no, demons and evil spirits are the ones behind those things that are happening to you. So truth doesn't matter. And so people believe that. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, and I think also we're calling God a liar, because if you're praying, in prayer alone, when you're praying that something should happen to your enemy, God also created that person that is an enemy. So if you're praying that your enemy will die or things like that, that's also lacking truth, to know that if God created that person, does God want that person to die? Is that what God wants? Or even ask the person that is reporting the enemy, that what have you done to deserve something? I remember a conversation that you're having, and you were saying, somebody was asking questions. You even mentioned this in one of your teachings this week or last week, that the person was saying that if I didn't do anything wrong to someone and they're doing something bad against me, and whose fault is that if those things are happening to me, the negative thing? And you made it clear that if you did good, your truth, if the truth is in you, that thing will not happen to you. Yes. You have to rest assured in God that created you and created the person. So when somebody goes to a pastor and say, pray for me, this is happening to me, does any pastor ask the truth, that what have you done to warrant this? That's the important thing. What have you done that you can change to warrant this, and in your belief system as well? The next thing is to pray and say your enemy will die and this and that. That's lack of truth, because it must be coming from somewhere, and we need to identify those things. Otherwise, we're not taking any responsibilities, diminishing our responsibility as human beings to anything that happens. Let me just run into this place. They will save me, either I did good or I didn't. This is the place where I'm going to get an answer. I'm going to get the result that I want, even though you are the one that is doing good, is doing wrong. And it goes really straight to the top, where presidents that are not doing anything with the economy, they're not doing great. When it comes to election time, they'll go to churches, and every congregation will see that they're praying for this person. This person is dealing down. Where is the truth? Where is it?
No truth.
Where is the truth where the church or the leaders or the pastors are saying, look, why are you kneeling down to pray for you? If you've done well in your term, those truths will speak for you. You don't need to come to me to lay hands on you for you to win the election. You win the election by you applying the principles. So it's not even demanded of people. It's not demanded of people. What is demanded of them is to go to the leader and get a quick fix, not to follow a process. And they publicize it, they show it as though that's the right thing to do. So what are you teaching young people? You can tell any lie, you can say anything you want, but when it comes to the time where you need God, just go to God and pray and beg and plead, and you will get the result that you want. So
well said. Good thought.
So that's absolutely wrong, and we really need to identify this, because I'm sick and tired of people saying that this is a great man of God, and I don't know what they've done that is great. It's all deception, it's all lies, and it's clear that you can see it, but they're making the judgment based on the numbers of people that follow them.
Beautiful.
You know, the judgment is not based on what these people have done, what they've achieved, what they're doing that you're seeing them doing daily that are wrong. You just say, keep your hands up them, because a lot of people follow them. So if a lot of people follow some criminal groups, those criminal group is okay. It's all right if those people are following them, is okay. If a lot of people are killing each other, it's okay, because yes, it's because lots of people are there. So we really need to identify that killing is not just by taking a gun or shooting. We have been killing each other by not identifying the truth. I think not knowing what the truth is not exactly this topic, not knowing what the truth is not, is killing us.
So I should really spend time on this topic.
Yes.
Because I wanted to use just today, it was grown through it. I think we should really take our time and dissect it.
Please, because I didn't really know. I know what I don't is not fixed, is not right in the world. I think that this is really bad, but I don't know what truth is not until I am shown. I can identify. There's a clear statement of this is not truth. I can't even tell somebody else that this is not truth. I might say this is not right. I don't think this is right, but I don't know what is not truth to be able to share with somebody else. And I think I try my best to be truthful, but I don't know what is not truth, because that's really important in being able to apply what is truth, and in also being able to identify what is true.
Okay, somebody said that in Nigeria now, that all successes, that every kind of success you have, money and things like that, is now credited to God, that God is blessing him. No, that happens now. You said no, it doesn't happen. You said no.
No, it can't be.
Are you saying it's not? People don't do that in Nigeria, or?
No, I'm saying that. No, I'm
being
not saying
here and now.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
Okay, I know that that's not what you meant, but because you are not here and now you said no at the wrong time. Okay. So what they are saying is that every success now is credited to God. That as soon as God, anything happens and you are doing well, they say God is blessing him. And then as soon as you face difficulty and challenges,
it cannot be God.
And they said it cannot be God. Do you think that there is an atmosphere like that, or there is a possibility?
I've spoken about this before.
Is that existing?
Yes, it's a truth that we quickly put God into things that go right and want to remove God. We want to exonerate God from difficulties, from difficult times.
From challenges.
Yes, and that was where I was speaking. We're talking, I think it was, I was saying the scripture that we are reading and quoting says everything works together for the good of they that love God and are called according to his purpose. And in everything there is bad, there is good. And that was where we're talking about purpose, not process. Purpose and not what is happening. It's not about is this a good assortment or this a bad assortment, but why is it happening? But the church doesn't talk about that, and so we are quick to say if it is good, it is God. If it is bad, the devil is at work. But it also comes in the place of not knowing what the truth is. That anyone who is in God, even those who are not in God, the truth is, has the devil really ever had anyone? Has the devil really ever had anyone? Because how then did we come to salvation if the devil had us? If he was telling someone like Jeremiah that from your womb, from your mother's womb, I had anointed you. So it meant that no matter what Jeremiah had done up until the time of his appointment for anointing, God still had him. So I think we really don't consider all of these things, and it all boils down to the fact that we are just interested in events and not the underlying factors of what brought about that event. We do not even really consider that our lives are a product of our actions and inactions, the things we do and the things we refuse to do, the actions we've taken and the reactions that we've taken. like I like to say with porn, that life is a drama where everyone acts.
No, because everything is born out of difficulties. Not just about everything works out for good or not. It might even not work out for good. Anything that is worthwhile is born out of difficulty and problems and challenges and pain. From giving birth to you, you came out to this world through pain. You know, from giving birth to you, from growing. Every step of the way, from developing muscles, is all through pain. Anything from your teeth growing out is all through pain. There is nothing worthwhile. That is the thing we should be teaching in our country. We should be telling people that everything that is worthwhile, must come through pain. But everything that is painless is fake.
Yeah.
So instead of preaching the opposite, that you can do without pain and you can do without difficulties, which is wrong doctrine. Even Jesus Christ, for him to secure us salvation, had to go through pain. In the Garden of Gethsemane, at the cross, he has to go through pain. He has to go through pain. Everything that is worthwhile has to go through pain. Yes, please.
Yes, I think the statement that everything that is good or successful is from God, I actually believe that lie as well. But obviously something in me says that it's wrong, because I see a lot of things that goes well for people. Even when somebody do you wrong, it's going well for them at the point where they do you wrong and they successfully hurt you. So even that alone would tell me that that statement is wrong. But I've been made to believe it, in the church especially, that if it's right, if it's going wrong, if it worked for something, for somebody, then it means that it's from God. But logic would actually tell you that it's not, because the person that made you suffer, it actually worked for them that they made you suffer. So how can that be right? So I think that it's something that is ingrained in us, and we really need to dig out. It's not going to be an easy process, because we've all lived our life believing that success means God, failure means Satan. And also, I didn't know until we had this question time to realize between the negative and the positive energy and how they work together, and the different types of energy that you need for the next stage and the next stage that you go. And I don't think that that's even known. Wow. I actually think this is something that is not even known by the people that are propagating this.
The pastors.
Yes, they don't know it. That I think that they don't know. But I believe that at some point, if you have been preaching for a long time, the Holy Spirit would have ministered to you. And also you need to self-educate yourself, develop yourself, especially if you're going to be speaking to a lot of people. Don't lead people the wrong way if you don't know something. So yes, everyone live this. Even I have to kind of like get out of it, that if things is not working for me, I'm already feeling sad. I'm thinking, oh, is this the devil or what's going on? I don't even look within myself to say, what am I not doing right? What application
Are you serious?
Yes. What am I supposed to apply? How am I supposed to apply? This is where the truth is always absolute. It's always true. It's always relevant. Your whole life has to either be truth or it will go the wrong way. So if you can't self-assess yourself, so I'm really grateful that you dealt with the fact that we need to go through the 5 levels of truth, because if we don't go through that in this assessment, we will go back to just thinking good is God, bad is evil, and it's just, there's no logic to that, and there's no logic.
Okay, this crucifixion of Jesus, is that good or bad?
It is good, but we look at it as a bad experience, and we don't even say that that's from evil. That's actually from God. That's what is supposed to happen.
You see?
Yeah.
That is the whole basis of our Christian experience, our faith.
Yeah.
So why is it that when we now go through our own crucifixion and challenges, we say it's not God?
Even the relegation of a God to humanity, to the form of human. How can you send someone who has enjoyed the unlimited glory of God and bring him to conform and have to deal with the intricacies and the shallowness of men? And to reduce such a mighty God and put him in the space and conformity and also the cage of flesh, putting him in a prison, or in this prison called body, just to come and save man. Then the question will be, how many times have we been sent to be salvation to some people, but cannot go through the pain of that process? That would be the next question. And I also think that, okay, yes, sir?
No.
Yeah. I also think that Christians really, we don't think, that is my thought.
Tragedy.
I think we don't think.
Yeah.
We so much enjoy the preaching of comfort that we just want to enjoy products made by people who seemingly are not Christians, and while we sit back at the comfort of our homes, enjoying their products, castigating what we believe that they are or they are not. For example, somebody will be using Facebook right now, but he's castigating Mark Zuckerberg and how his soul is going to hell.
Yes, because he said this is the new church.
But you are using his product. You who are sitting in comfort are not even considering the pain that Mark Zuckerberg went through to create the product that you are sitting in comfort, castigating him. You are even still waiting for the next app he is going to create, but yet you are still having an opinion on what his soul will be.
And also, that means they are not consistent, even with what they are saying. If they believe in, if they are not people of truth, if they really believe in truth, you believe that Mark Zuckerberg is bad and what he's doing is wrong, the first thing you are supposed to do is to prove that you believe in truth by stopping to use his product. Yeah, and having anything to do with him at all. Then you are consistent with your own affirmation. If you are not doing that, you don't even deserve to be listened to.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you another situation here. In Nigeria recently, there was this case about the billionaire kidnapper. Did you people hear about
Yes,
that? Evans. Do you know that this our doctrine of just saying result is what works and result is what matters, not truth? It has gotten to the extent that some people, even the elite, I even heard that one certain actress or something, or someone, went and they started criticizing the police for arresting him and for investigating and parading him. So we are now saying the people who are enforcing the truth that no, you shouldn't kidnap people. But because this guy has high standing, they are now fighting for him. Some Nigerians are now fighting for this killer, for this kidnapper. And are saying, well, you know, everybody has their own weakness. Anything could happen in life. It's the economy that is bad. He also needed to survive. What about the people he has destroyed and killed? And I even heard that there is a lawyer that went to court to stop the federal government from holding him. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that, what do you think is the root of that? What has gotten a society to the place to now be pitying criminals and castigating law enforcement?
The first question we would ask is, that same society abhors and celebrates jungle justice. Then we just know that it's not about principles.
Truth.
It's not about truth. It's just about results. One is rich, and the other is perceived to be poor. They believe they can gain something for standing up for one, but cannot gain anything for standing up for the other. Why is it that today I read that a guy was sentenced to death in Osun State for stealing 3,700 naira, which is less than $15.17 thereabout, if my calculation is correct, was sentenced to death. But we have people looting the treasury. Someone looted about $150 million, a million naira or so, or 1 point something, a very huge amount, but was given a fine of 100,000 naira. And so he was given a jail sentence of 2,000 naira with an option of fine for 100,000 naira. What is wrong with our...
So truth is lost its position.
Yes, it has been relegated. It's for the highest bidder. And that's why people are just getting to the place. They want to get to the place where they can be the highest bidder for the society.
So do you now understand why I personally feel all this clamoring for restructuring? What are you going to restructure? You are going to restructure lie. You are going to restructure deception. And people are thinking, outward decoration like this.
Yeah.
Camouflaging and just painting facade painting will fix a whole country. What will fix it is the foundation, is the fundamental fault, error of lack of truth. The fundamental issue of lack of truth. That's what will fix the country. But some people say, let's restructure or let's break the country. But I mean, people I think it's just out of desperation, but they're not thinking deeply enough. And if we don't change our value system, if we don't become people of virtue, first of all, people of truth, I mean, you are just multiplying the ungodliness on ground.
Yeah, and also power is more important than truth.
To our people.
Yes. So the demonstration of power and the sense that you have power is more important than truth. So they cannot identify that if somebody does something wrong, even if the person is poor or rich, they should just know what is wrong. They just see it as if you did something wrong and you're rich, you have the right to do it. Whereas if you do something wrong and you're poor, then that thing is wrong. It's measured by power rather than by truth.
There's an adage in Yoruba that says, "Olówó ń sọ̀rọ̀, tálákà ló ń lá idea." Olówó ń sọ̀rọ̀.
You have to tell people what it means.
The rich people are talking, then the poor man says he has an idea.
Okay, what does that mean?
A rich person should not think.
That means a poor person has no right to talk where rich people are talking, even if the substratum of his idea is the centrality of truth. The centrality of his idea is based on truth. But as long as he doesn't have the wealth, the result that these rich ones have possesses, he has lost the
basic human right of
having an idea. So much that it's an adage, it's a proverb.
And that has a really detrimental effect. And that's why young people in Nigeria as well, they don't achieve much. Because the older people will say that we're talking, we're the elderly.
Elders also do that.
Yeah, so the young people suspend their brain unless they have money. When they have money, then they can talk. But when they don't have money, they're young, they have ideas, they have zeal. But the older people suppress them that we're talking and you're joining in. Who are you? So that is maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know, but it needs to stop as well because, I've heard of stories of older people, professionals, they're in a settings where they're trying to look for a solution. I think there is a bus that is stuck under a bridge. And it was a young person, like a 12-year-old. So they've been there for hours and the people stuck under and people are dying. There was a young boy that was maybe 12 years old that came to give them the idea to take the pressure of the tires down to make the bus comes down. And they've been there for hours trying to find a solution. And this is the same thing in Nigeria. You think they're not young people that are poor from different backgrounds that are thinking, or God is giving them insight or ideas on what to do, but nobody would ever listen to them because they're young, number one, and also because they probably come from poor background, so nobody cares. So even those people will not have the confidence to go and speak. So all these problems that we have in Nigeria, I think we need a mind shift.
Value shift.
Yes, value shift, because otherwise we're just going to be in this rut. From pastors to bishops they're all doing it. This is very prominent among leaders. They're all doing it. Nobody is making those changes or even saying anything about it. So it's a lot of work.
And another angle I would like to come from is to speak politically, as you said the other time. Outside restructuring, which I think restructuring is the new slogan ahead of 2019. Anyone who can shout restructuring the most would be able to get more people, especially those who are not thinking. I mean, we have the mass. And the next one has been the participation of youth in politics. The result is that in France, the president is less than 45. In Canada, the prime minister is about 45. In there are about 4 countries like that we look up to, and they have young presidents. And Nigeria is also saying we need young leaders. We need young Luxembourg. we need young leaders. Young people should get into politics. But that is just a result. The truth, again, we should ask ourselves is Trudeau the Prime Minister of Canada because he's young? Was Macron voted for because of his age?
No.
Or because of the ideas that he represents, the ideals
Yes.
that he presents, the
That's the
solutions
truth.
that he has offered?
That is the truth.
But we are not considering that. We just want age. We just want to start talking about age.
It's called populism.
Populism. The second thing when you talk about restructuring, sir, and even the basis of Biafra and everything, we are not considering truth in this. We are just considering the euphoria that we have in having a new nation. If we really consider truth, then we'll go back to South Sudan. What happened after those fireworks? I was in Crimea then when the fireworks were thrown. I mean, there was fireworks, the newest nation in the world. Everybody was jubilating everywhere. A week after, what was next? Because getting the result that it worked, that you were able to get a country, does not mean that it will sustain that country. What are the basic, what is the substratum of the problem? We don't really consider that. Restructuring. Who will be the face of the restructuring? What will happen after the restructuring? Would it be the same mindset or not? Would it be the same people or not? Will they crumble the economy? Let's go back to Zimbabwe. The president Mugabe, who has done so much, I mean, in terms of fighting racism and all of those, but he also at a point did not consider the truth of management by collecting farmlands from white farmers and giving it to people just because they are black, and now thinks he can empower people. In less than 6 months, they crashed everything down. Because all he just looked at was the euphoria of black people owning the land and the wealth. But the truth is, can these people, not because of their color, sustain? Can they maintain? Can they manage? Do they have the know-how? That truth was not considered. And I think that also in any environment where truth is not considered before actions are taken, we will always end in crash, just like the motions of emotions.
And that is a challenge that, so this is the number one thing. I still have, of course, you know that this is just point one, but I see that this point one is so important and so crucial to the destiny of our country. Because when we are now saying the only thing that matters is the result, like I said, if anything that is successful, anything that works is God, then we are trying to say that God is not truth. God is pragmatist. But we know that the Bible says that Jesus, it says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So God is truth. And and you shall know the truth shall set you free. So the Bible and Christianity is supposed to be all about truth, not about feel good feelings, and not about quick fix solutions, and not about getting something for nothing. It's not about just feeling good, make you feel good. So otherwise, if result is the only thing that matters, if we are saying result is the only thing that matters, then cheating and lying also work sometimes. Armed robbers go to steal and rob, and they come back successful. And so, does that make it right?
No, murder for a murderer, when he happens
he
to
doesn't
kill
get caught the first time or sometimes.
Yeah, so when they kill successfully, that is result for them. So is that from God? We need to define all those things and just know what is not. This question today, that what is not truth, for me is the ultimate question. It's enough to be saying that I know the truth. This is the truth. It's not working, obviously, because that statement of this is truth is being skewed to be this is pragmatic, this works. So right now, what we need to start asking ourselves is to change that phrase or the question of this is truth, or the statement of this truth is what is not truth when we are applying anything. Because when we can identify what is not truth,
Yes.
that even if it's working, it's not true, then maybe we'll start coming back to our senses, because everything is being so blurred now.
Okay, even the idea that Nigerians are calling this kidnapper, Evans, a billionaire, don't you see that as a major issue also?
Yeah, it is a huge issue, because they
Why should you even refer to him as a billionaire?
Yeah, it's that's a big issue, because now other billionaires that made their money, their wealth in the right way, what would they be considered to be?
I don't even consider other billionaires.
It's just the idea of people who want to aspire to be billionaires.
Yes.
See that as an option
Yes.
to being a billionaire.
If he is recognized as a billionaire and is being called a billionaire, so there are different ways to become a billionaire. That's what you are telling the youth. That's what they are telling the young people. So the young people now say, okay, but it's only that he got caught. I could become a billionaire, but I just have to be careful any other way, anyway. I just have to be careful that I'm not caught. So as long as I'm going to be caught, I'm still going to be respected anyway. So that's a problem. I saw a journalist, one of the journalists from Nigeria went to take interview from this kidnapper. Instead of them to be calling him for who he is, kidnapper, killer, criminal, it's supposed to only be that terminology. So, but the journalist is saying, well, this thing you are doing, this kidnapping business, the journalist is calling it business. And this is another thing that I think that people who are coming from our, eastern part of Nigeria, the Igbos, and I think that is another thing. If you're an Igbo person, that's another thing you have to help your people understand. Because in Nigeria, the Igbo people, they are calling the drug dealers business.
Yeah.
They say it's a business, this business that he's doing. The drug dealers, they are saying, oh, even the ones who are condemning it, even on my platform, people are saying, yes, there is these people from this particular state in Nigeria who are pushing drug. And, even say it's a bad business. Bad business? That is not a business at all in the first place. It's a crime. No, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So by using those kind of languages, we are derogating the truth. Is it derogating? I'm saying
Yeah.
the truth. We are derogating the truth. We are downplaying the truth. We are not speaking the truth. Even in trying to say, because we don't support them, so we are trying to think that we are okay, we are upright. Okay, let me go back to another person. I mean, the person I started talking about on our platform here. That this person on our platform here was telling me that, Pastor, the situation on ground in Nigeria is, the economy is bad. So all those people doing 419 and something, you can understand them. It's just because the situation in the country is bad. They don't know. They just don't know better. They just don't know better. So then, when I started to attack her and say, but wrong is wrong. Crime is crime. She started saying, Pastor, you don't understand me. I said, what do you mean you don't understand? I'm not saying I support them. I am not supporting them. I'm not saying it is okay. I'm not saying they should steal. I'm not saying they should dupe or people and and scam people. But I'm just trying to explain to you why they are doing. She wants now to defend her name, her reputation. That no, I'm not stealing now. But I'm working hard. I'm living in the UK with my children. I'm a single mother. I'm working so hard and I'm making, so I'm not supporting those people. But I'm just trying to let you know that, it's not their fault. You are endorsing them, my dear. And this is, the good people of my country are saying this. The Christians are saying this. And yet they are using double mouth, double tongue, and saying they are not endorsing. Yet they are saying, they are giving excuses, and they are saying they are not endorsing. We have stopped calling a spade a spade. We are trying to be low, to be, what do you call it? Not low, what's what I'm looking for? Loyal. No, is it loyal? Not what do you call it? Loyal. To be middle, in the middle to be
liberal.
To be liberal. We are trying to be liberal, and to, not just to be liberal, to be, you know, what is it? Loyal, not loyal. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? You are going to be
lukewarm.
No, you are going to be understanding. You are trying to be. There is a word I'm looking for there, but you are trying to be understanding to people. To say, oh, considerate. You want to be considerate, and you cannot be considerate with something that is not truth. You cannot be diplomatic with something that is not truth. You are trying to be neutral. Yes, neutral. You cannot be neutral about lie or truth. You cannot be neutral about the truth. You've got to come out and, you know, because when you are neutralizing, you are colliding with evil. So there is this neutrality in our country. Everybody is neutral. Everybody is now neutral. Everybody is saying, well, I'm just not I'm not saying they are right, and I'm not saying, you know, I don't want to condemn them also, because I don't know what they are coming from. I don't know where, you know, what their situation is. And another pastors also say, well, they said, what the Nigerian system, they were asking, you know, there is a Nigerian pastor that was accused, very messy case in Nigeria. And, you know, then they were being told, why is it that you are not condemning what this man did? Or maybe he didn't do it. They said, well, anybody that lives in a glass house or something, they are not more using scriptures. They are using glass as adage and the proverb. Anybody that lives in a glass house shouldn't throw stone. Okay, so I will say now, because, you know, I'm not perfect and nobody is perfect, so I should not speak the truth again because I'm living in a glass house. So the truth should just be buried. Let's just go and forget about it. Let's just go and kill it and bury it. Because nobody is perfect. So since I'm not perfect and I'm living in a glass house, I should just bury the truth. You know, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they're using human wisdom now to replace the truth. Instead of making the truth absolute in whatsoever situation. Even if I'm the one that is wrong, I still have to admit that I'm wrong. The truth is too superior to me. This truth is still better than me. I mean, it's still higher than me. So I cannot say because I'm wrong, I should just remove the truth and the truth is no more existing. No, the truth has to judge me too. The truth has to judge any other person. The truth is the truth, even if I'm the one working against that truth. Can this ever be returned to that country now?
Yes. We have to. We have to.
Any other comment about what I say, or I should just continue? Continue. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. An idea is not true because it works. A business is not blessed because it's successful. A church is not God's church because it's growing. Okay? A church is not God's church because they have miracles. Okay? A church is not the truth because they are performing signs and wonders. A church is not the truth because they have results or they have people there. A man of God is not a true man of God because he's performing miracles. A man of God is not the true man of God because he has many people following him. You are not automatically right just because you have results. Those are not enough reasons for the truth to be truthful, to be a true man of God. And if we don't clear these things in our psyche and our society, we are going to have a society that will sink in the bottom very soon, because the whole society will collapse. The foundation of the society will collapse. Like I said, an idea is not true because it works. It works because it is true. For example, I was, I'm writing, and everybody knows my opinion about Biafra, right? Okay, I'm not even against Biafra too much, but when I look at the leader, the person who is trying to lead it, people must have compromised the truth and their conscience to follow that guy. You have to have compromised your conscience, because just just analyze what he's saying by the truth, and it doesn't make sense for you to follow him. And that is another reason why I'm not for Biafra movement, because Biafra movement is talking about marginalization of the Igbos. But the truth really is that yes, there's marginalization of the Igbos. But you want to tell me that the Ijaws are not being marginalized? You want to tell me that the minorities in Nigeria, we have 200 and something tribes that are very, very minor, that are not even been mentioned anywhere, any time before. They are even, but you want to tell me that the Yorubas are not being marginalized? You want to tell me that the Hausas in the north are not being marginalized? All of us are being marginalized in that country. That is the truth. We are under the marginalization of the rich and wealthy. We are under class marginalization. So to now build a country on the basis of sentiment, emotion, and that's going to be another point that I'm going to make sometime. Emotion is not the truth. Sentiment is not the truth. Even though you are feeling that, okay, you are feeling annoyed and you are feeling offended. That is still not on the basis. You don't take decisions on the basis of offense. You don't take decisions on the basis of things it's not fair. Okay, emotions. I'm feeling the people are not. You don't do things like that. You don't take decisions on. That is why Ojukwu failed. That's why the Biafra war was lost, because he was acting out of sentiment and emotions of pain that, our people have been killed and so on. You don't just act. You don't. In fact, the wise people will tell you that you never act when you're offended. When you are emotional, that is the time not to act at all. That is you don't act. Emotions and feelings are not basis for decision taking. So all those restructuring now, that's exactly what I see in our country. Talking about restructuring is all about the euphoria of economic problems and issues in the country. That is what is leading to that kind of talk. These same people who are calling for restructuring when the economy was bad, was good, all of them were enjoying the same country. They were okay with it. But because things are tough now, they are now using emotion as the basis of truth. But emotion is never the truth. So sentiment is not truth. Emotion is not truth. So anything that is that works, even if it works, even if you are having a result, that doesn't mean that it's true. And that is exactly what will happen. And what will happen is that because it's not the truth will expose it. And that's why when people get those kind of independence, and they get, they soon start civil war among themselves because they didn't deal with the fundamental issue that they were having. That was the reason. So when they get the independence will lead to another war and another breakage and another crisis, because the truth was not on the fundamental. They didn't deal with the fundamental truth question. Now, I so much wanted to go and do some and give you some scriptural basis, scriptures, Bible basis. Maybe I should try it before I go. Let's open our Bible. Let's look into Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 to 5. It is not all things that work that is the truth. For example, in this story, Genesis 3, 1 to 5, you will see that Satan succeeded in deceiving Adam and Eve. But does that mean that it's the truth? It worked out, but it's not truth. And even if you look at that particular passage in Genesis 3, 1 to 5, you will see that the only reason why Satan and serpent was able to defeat Adam and Eve was that he was able to make them to lose their foundation of truth. When societies or even people, individuals, the very first sign of defeat and destruction and fall, a nation and a people are falling when we buy into the lie of the fact that the truth could be compromised, The truth is not really the truth. The truth can be shifted. The position of truth can be shifted. You know, when the basic foundation of truth is being replaced by something like pragmatism, like we said now. So when people say, okay, you know, yeah, they are not armed robbers. They are just, you know, young people that want to make a living. It's because of the economy is bad. You know, okay, we are not, you know, agreeing with them. They are wrong. Yes, we agree they are wrong. But you must understand them. When you begin to do things like that, you are committing the very same sin that Adam and Eve committed here. And the sin they committed here is that Satan, serpent, came and mentioned, he questioned the truth and replaced it with another reality. But with a reality that is quick fix. That quick fix reality is what made man to fall. And man is still falling today for quick fix reality rather than truth. For quick fix, we know man is still falling today to replacing the fundamental truth for momentary, immediate result. So he says, now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord has made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, questioning the truth? Because what God said is the truth. But now he's questioning the truth. If Satan could make you to compromise your position of truth, you are defeated already. You are fallen. If Satan could make a society to begin to question the fundamental truth, and the society is no more established on truth, that society has fallen. This house is falling. The reason for failure, for the fall of humanity as a whole, is that we compromise truth. So he says, as God indeed said, questioning the truth. This is not working. There are explanations. The truth doesn't demand explanation. Truth doesn't need explanation. Truth doesn't, you don't need to say, okay, you know, once you begin to do that, you have compromised the truth. As God indeed said, did God really say that? You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And God didn't say you shall not eat every tree of the garden. He said, you know, did he say you shall not eat every tree of the garden? Only, he said you eat everything. He's the only one you shouldn't eat. And you are telling me, he said you shouldn't eat every tree of the garden. They are making truth to look difficult. That is how people, Satan, makes us to defeat the truth and to be defeated by Satan. It makes the truth look too difficult. The way of truth is too difficult. You know, so we will not preach in our churches that prosperity comes only by hard work. Hard work. Oh, there are people tell me this. Even my own colleagues. Pastor, don't use, even in my book, don't call that in dignity of labor. Labor, nobody wants labor. It will not sell. That's what I tell them. It will not sell because people don't want something that is hard. Let's call it something the way, you know, something attractive. So people are compromising the truth left, right, and center because Satan is making the truth appear hard. So once they can sell that to you, and you can buy into that the truth is hard, and you could then find a replacement, and then a compromise, you are falling already. And that is the tactics of Satan. Satan used this same tactic here. So our society, when they begin to give you, well, we have to be neutral. When you begin to be neutral about the truth, you have committed the same sin that the Adam and Eve are committing here. Well, who knows? Well, the economy is bad. That is why. When you begin to give excuses like that, why the truth cannot be absolute, why the truth cannot be followed, why the truth cannot be adhered to, you are giving excuses like that, you are falling. It means you are falling, first of all, in your heart. When you begin to say, well, everybody has a stone house, or what do you call it, glass house. Everybody has a glass house, and when you live in glass house, you are falling because you have compromised the truth. Well, who knows? Everybody is not perfect. But that doesn't concern the truth. The truth is perfect, though. Yes, we are not perfect, but the truth is perfect. So when you begin to find excuses why the truth should be compromised or should be relegated like that, we are in danger. So it says, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree? Did God really say every tree? He said, eat every tree, rather. But don't eat only from one, but eat every other tree. But you said you shouldn't eat every tree. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat it, nor shall ye touch it, lest you die. Now, that one, she quoted part of it right, but then God didn't say you shall not touch it. You see, they are making everything complicated. They are making the truth. You know, when people are making the truth complicated, then you know what that produces? It produces the psychology of self-pity. Okay, it is too difficult. And, you know, I'm a human being now. Well, okay, you know, but when you begin to pity yourself like that against the truth, you know what? Somebody will come. Some serpent will come to pity you. That is why self-pity is one of the greatest evil you could do to yourself. And it is self-pity that makes people to begin to compromise the truth. Because the thing that was used against Eve here is that self-pity. She started bought into that. She said, okay, they didn't say we shouldn't eat from anything, in the tree. But yeah, but why should he say we shouldn't touch it also? But the tree said we shouldn't touch it, just say don't eat it. So they are making it difficult. Okay, we are poor me, yeah? Poor me mentality. And when you begin to say poor me mentality, somebody will come to give you the alternative to the truth. So when it comes to truth, you shouldn't begin to pity yourself at all. When it comes to truth, you shouldn't begin to, you know, to say, well, who knows, this and that. Speak the truth. Okay, for example, one of my pastors, after I finished preaching about, you know, tithe and offering, this my pastor is one of my top pastors based in Germany. He came to me and said, Pastor, I don't agree with the teaching on prostitution of tithe and offering. I said, what was the problem? Oh, because some of our other pastors in that same Germany, they are calling us, they say, Pastor, I don't have heart. I don't have, you know, I don't have feeling. Because one pastor is working as a taxi driver and, you know, and still, you know, things are not working out. So if now it goes to, if there's no more tithe and offering coming, and he's already even working as a taxi driver, how will he survive? That I am wicked for preaching that kind of thing. Good. So this my other pastor, who is the top pastor, said, well, Pastor, you know, I cannot agree with that because people are struggling and the Bible says give to the Levite and all that. And how would the people survive? You see, pity. It is not the truth that matters anymore. It is, of course, they find the word of God. They say, okay, but the Bible says bring to the Levite, and the Levite have to eat for that. I say, okay, where is Levite in the New Testament? You tell me where Levite is in the New Testament. Who is Levite in the New Testament? You or me? You want your people to keep on bringing money to you. Because of that, you want to go against your father. So I am now evil because because I cannot pity people. I told my wife, I told Pastor Boss, even if let everybody leave. But if the reason why you are going to leave is because you say, I don't have pity, people will know, how will people survive? It's not because of truth. Because I'm preaching the truth, you think, is it? So that self-pity thing. So this my big man of God, this big, guy in the embassy of God hierarchy, He has to say, well, if you would not, if you don't agree, well, I cannot agree with that teaching, so I will have to leave. So I said, okay, go. All of you leave. Because even the basis, because people don't bring you money, why can't you believe God to sustain you? Why can't you believe God to sustain you? So the truth has to be, has to be paramount at all times. The truth always has to be absolute. And even if you are going to suffer. So I told him, don't you think that it's going to affect me too? It's affected me too. I am preaching, don't give money to anybody. Don't bring money to me too. Don't give me all those prophet offering, faith offering, anointing offering, breakthrough offering. If you want to talk about that. But why am I not? I have to believe God. I have to hang on to God too. But let the truth be truth. So if the truth is not in my favor, that doesn't mean I should compromise that truth. Truth, even if the truth is not working for me. Yes, the truth might not even work for you right now. And most of the time, the truth will not work immediately. The truth will always take time. So the truth might not be working. So a lot of people say that, but you say you are serving God. Where is your result? You say you are serving God. Where is your result? I don't need result to prove the truth. I know the truth, that's what matters. Because when the result of the truth will come, I might not be around. And you might not be around. So I'm not going to fall into that deception of the fact that I want immediate proof of the truth. Since the truth is not producing the immediate result now, it means that it's not the truth. No. I'm still going to stand. That's what I'm telling you people now. That the reason why people fall for quick fix and for instant gratification mentality that we have now in the churches in Nigeria is because people they are falling into that trap of producing result immediately. That's pragmatism. That's not the truth. The truth is even superior to results. Even though the truth will always produce results. But it will not always produce results at the time that you want it. So this is what is happening here. And then what did Satan say to her? He said, you shall, then serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. He said, that's a lie right there. You will not die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Okay, so they want a quick fix. The day you eat it, immediate. That means if you eat it today, right now, you'll be like God. But it never happened. They died. God was correct. Instead of being like God. They wanted immediate fix. But they were already like God. They were not seeing the manifestation yet because it takes time. Truth, they would have ruled over the earth. It would not happen immediately. But this one is promising immediate result. Anything that is promising immediate result is an attempt to lure you away from the truth. It's an attempt to capture you, to captivate you, to imprison you, to enslave you, and to make you blind to the truth. So immediate results and craze for results and craze for immediate result is not the truth and is against the truth and the nature of the truth. So truth is not what works. And the topic today is what truth is not. What truth is not. What truth is not. Truth is not immediate result. And truth is not anything that brings result. The truth is not everything that works. When things work, that doesn't mean it's the truth. That is magic. That is pragmatism. But that's not truth. Let me show you another scripture before I go. I will just one more scripture and I go. Because I think it was important that I use scriptural backing to all our discussion, right? That it is not, okay, there was result here, you know, their eyes opened. Their eyes opened, but they didn't become like God. They only saw nakedness. That eyes that opened only brought them nakedness. And that's what happens. When you want immediate result, instant gratification, it will only lead you to nakedness later on. It will expose you. Because the truth will come after it and expose you. The next scripture that I want us to look at is Genesis 27, verses 5 to 10. We all know that story of Rebekah and the two sons. Now, Rebekah was listening when Isaac, the husband, spoke to Esau, his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt game and to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, that's the favorite, her son of us, saying, indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, bring me game and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. So she's trying to be trickish, you know. She's cunning. Go now to the flock and bring me from there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it, and that he may bless you before his death. Yeah, but that's the whole story. You all know that story, right? It worked. Didn't it work? It worked. And the result was Jacob got the inheritance. Jacob got the inheritance. It worked. But up to today, the whole mess in Middle East is all as a result of this story. One woman that compromised the truth. Even though God, found a way of using it, it's for the better or something, one way or the other, but it is the consequences of that behavior, of that compromise of the truth, is lingering up to today. It worked for her, it worked for him, but look at the price he had to pay. He had to run away from his own country. Then he had to serve. Was it 21 years? He served, or 14 years? 14 years, yeah, for a while, but he served altogether for 21 years. He had to be, like a slave in another life. At a point, his hip had to be disjointed. A lot of pain as a result of compromise with the truth. So it's not always something that works that is true. The fact that something works doesn't mean that is truth. Truth is truth. Absolute. And I'm going to be talking about what is truth later on. I'm going to be talking about what is truth. I'm tempted to go there, and I almost tempted to go there, but I will not. I will first of all finish what is not truth. What is not truth, before I get into what truth is. What truth is not. What truth is not. So the first thing you should remember, what truth is not, is that truth is not what? Things that work. Truth is not something that works. And that is why we are against quick fix solutions. We are against instant gratification. That's why we are against, name it, claim it kind of thing. Because it's not based on the truth. All these things are superficial stuff that don't last at the end of the day. So, I don't know. I hope you people are blessed. Is there anybody still remaining here tonight? If you are here, maybe you want to write your opinion, what you think you got from this. If you got something from this, write something. Let me read a few comments before we go. Omonika says, DSA, it is because pastors are so used to free money these days. But so they are preaching compromise gospel, instant gratification. But you, Pastor Sunday, you are setting the children of God free. Definitely, the pastors will not be happy. Well, don't worry, it's good for them. Edwin and me says, every pastor has the absolute right to ignorance of the truth to any extent, but no pastor has the right to mislead the church with his ignorance. Truth is superior to results, yeah. And that is what we must bring back to the church. Result doesn't authenticate a church and doesn't authenticate a pastor as well. You know, we must find out the truth. So if you are still there tonight, if you are still watching us, write what you are gaining from this message, what you think that this message has done for you. Eric Agbata said, keep up the good work, Pastor. Thank you. Ufoma said, yes, sir. So blessed and so needed. This is an awakening. God bless you, sir. Isaac Kende Akimbode says, Pastor, I think you are spoiling business for those who have commercialized the church and they won't like this your teaching. Who cares if it's the truth? If I'm speaking the truth, who cares for people's reaction? People's reaction doesn't matter. Even my punishment, even my suffering for this truth doesn't matter as long as it's the truth. Who cares? If it's the truth, I should suffer rather for it. We should always be willing to suffer for the truth. Fuan's team says, Happy Christmas is now Happy Holidays. A child stole a pencil but denied that he only tapped the pencil. What that? Tapped or taped? Tapped the pencil. Fornication is now having fun. Deception and deceitfulness is now replaced with smartness. Yeah, that is the problem. Compromising with the truth. Paul Oriade said, if I'm suffering for the truth, it's a good one for me. Yeah. Ngozi said, we must continue to uphold the truth no matter what, because in the end, truth will always win. Yeah, we can do nothing against the truth, only for the truth. Isaiah Taylor said, the compromised truth will lead you down the road of destruction. Yes. Ufoma says, we have become so compromised that we cannot bear to hear the truth. We don't even recognize truth anymore. Reverend Roslyn says, living the truth is the ultimate goal if you really want to make heaven, right? Paul says, never allow Satan to make you compromise the truth. Yep. Kenny Deomo, thank God for your life, sir. Ruth Adamu, God bless you, DSA. No more neutrality for me now. Yeah, thank God. Isaac Kende says, kindly make this tape available for sale. The points are very important, please. Yeah, well, Isaac Kende, I don't know if Shioma is on here today, but in Nigeria, we have a lady called Shioma in Wigwe, and she distributes my content, my materials for people on ground in Nigeria who don't have the data. Otherwise, all my teachings are available. You can actually go and share this message right now. If you share the message, it will come to your timeline, and you can download it if you want for yourself. You can download it, and you can even sell it. I tell people, download and sell. Go and sell my material and make money for yourself and for your family. You know, go and download the materials if you want, and go and sell them. You don't need to give me any money from it. Just go and sell them. Let the word spread. And so you can do that. All my teachings, and this one in particular, is going to be on this timeline on my Facebook page, and it's also going to be on my YouTube page. And many previous teachings are on my YouTube page. So if you go to Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube, you'll be able to see all these teachings and not just this one. So you go and download this and commercialize it if you want. I give you the permission, so go for it. And, you know, yeah, let's go spread the word. Anthony Arillo said, I am relieved to hear your teaching because I was always at variance with the general tide in Nigeria. Thank you for exposing the truth. Thank you. It means you are a lover of truth, my dear. Adeola Disu says, as the proverb says, truth is now catching up with the lies and deception that has gone on for decades and leaving it behind. Thank you, sir. This is an absolutely liberating and correctional series. Oh, Adeola Disu, since you are there, let me quickly give you the topic for tomorrow. Adeola Disu is the person making our banners for us. So I'm going to tell you the topic for tomorrow. But before then, Pastor Tim says, truth have been gravely compromised in our churches or in our nation. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. You shall not die, but live to continue spreading the heavenly flames. It is timely. Thank you, sir. Bosco says, truth is what our generation runs from, hence the number of people online. Ah, okay, I got it now. So people are running away from the truth, right? That's why the number has reduced, you mean? Oh, well, you know, it's the truth will still catch up with everybody. So with Hallelujah Praise now, we will, I mean, if it had been Hallelujah Praise now, we will have like 500 people watching at the same time. That's how much scarce the truth is. Yeah. People just want superficial stuff, right? Reverend Roslyn says, Ojutila. In Yoruba language, that means my eyes don't open. My eyes are opened. Omonike said, thanks so much, DSA, for this teaching. Definitely people will not be happy. Why are people concerned about people being happy? What's that? What does that mean? I don't care what people are happy. You should the only measurement that should exist is this aligned with the truth or not? Is this the truth or not? If it's the truth, why are you burdening yourself about if people are happy or people are not happy? Well, people I always hear that all the time. Oh, people are not going to be happy. Pastors are not going to be happy. What's the problem? Why are you even thinking about that? I'm the one causing the trouble. I'm not even thinking about that. Why should you be thinking about that? That is not even a parameter. It doesn't even come up for consideration. Who is happy, who is not happy. As long as God is happy, what's your problem? What problem again do you have? She said, because truth is bitter. Well, I don't know, but it says free. It says free. Okay, Shioma is here giving a telephone number to access Dr. DSA's books and materials in Nigeria. Okay, so the telephone number of Shioma is here for the person who is asking for the distribution. Ernest Ebong says, that's why as a pastor, I'm working a full-time job, not minding what it will cost me, so as to free myself from depending on the church and tithe, but allow the truth to prevail. Yep. It's better to allow the truth to prevail than to say, you know, you have to pity yourself. Once you begin to pity yourself, you'll be compromising the truth, and soon you become an enemy of the truth. Unfortunately. She does Emmanuel says, thank you, dear, for allowing God to use you to spread this scarce commodity called truth. It's a scarce commodity. Eh? That's why I have only 80 people or 70 people left. But I think the reason why people left is because they have other engagements. I mean, I have to think the best for people. So I think people have other things going on, and they have to go, probably, most likely, maybe, yeah. But who knows? Tomorrow's message, let me tell you about tomorrow's message. Tomorrow's message will still be, the general topic will be what truth is not, what truth is not. So, but I'm going to give another point tomorrow. Truth, what truth is not, then you could have colon. Truth is not what feels good. So that's going to be the topic for tomorrow. Truth is not what feels good. Truth is not what feels good. Reverend Rosalind says, thank you for sharing and for your fearless efforts to bring many people out of darkness. Well. Thank God. I don't even see any fearlessness, anything. I'm just doing what I need to do. I don't even consider it as fearless or bold or just the truth. Just speak the truth. That's all. Nothing special. Paul says, once you begin to pity yourself, okay, that's just continue. Okay, thank you, everybody. Good night. I'll be back tomorrow, twice tomorrow. We'll be back at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Nigerian time and British time, 12 noon by Eastern time in America. And then we'll be back again by 7 p.m. Nigerian time and 7 p.m. British time. And then we'll be back again by 2 p.m. Eastern time in America. So twice a day. I'll be back twice tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Bye.